Dr. Guillén, Manuel, let me ask you a question that hopefully you can expound on a bit, which really is at the core of our colloquium. What is the role of ethics and values? And Donna has certainly brought out the role of dignity in building trust, both inside and outside organizations today. And why is trust so hard to achieve between management and employees?
Well, first, thank you very much for the question and for being here. I wanted this to be a dialogue, and I guess it's going to be a very nice dialogue and conversation. So, to answer to your question, I would say that, well, trust is basically about ethics, because trusting someone means making vulnerable in front of that person. I'm trusting you, Mike, and I'm making myself vulnerable here, coming here, and telling you all my problems, concerns before coming here, because I'm sure that you freely are going to do the right thing. So trust means three things. First, you make yourself vulnerable in front of someone. Second, you believe that that person is going to do the right thing, is going to be a good guy with a good intention. And thirdly, because of that, you're avoiding any kind of control, no mechanism of control, or lower level of control. So trust is basically a free human action. And the more you trust someone, the more that person will trust you. Because this is a human thing. It's a natural thing in our nature. So when I was thinking about my father, he passed away just a few days ago. So, and I used to trust him a lot. I wouldn't say always, but a lot. And well, he taught me how to do this. Because the more he trusted me, the more I was trusting in myself and becoming a better person, because he was trusting me. He was giving me that love. And then I thought, well, if he is considering that, he will trust me. If he's doing that, I had to do that with me. And then I started trusting someone else. And then is when he told me, you have to trust your brothers and sisters and the rest of the society. And then you build trust around yourself. And then I discovered that trust is always about ethics, because it's about human freedom and respecting others people's freedom and dignity, as you said. So feeling is always there, but also moral judgment and integrity, honesty. So for me, that was a perfect definition of trust. And I found that definition in a paper in the Academy of Management Review, 1995. That definition, you make yourself vulnerable in front of someone, you're not making any control of the situation. And then you move that to the area of management. And you're teaching in the MBA program to your students, and they ask you, well, why should I trust my boss? And you say, okay, I don't know how to teach you this, because it's not that easy. But there is a logic of trust. There is something universal there. And in that logic, and these guys in this study in 1995, they found, well, Aristotle found, because they are using Aristotle ideas, that trust involves human nature, and that means logos, pathos, and ethos, which means you trust your boss because in terms of the intellect, he's got the capacity, the competence. He's technically good, intellectually good. So you trust that man from the intellectual point of view, logos. But then pathos. You trust that man because you're feeling that the intention of this guy is goodwill, is benevolence, benevolere from Latin, doing the good thing, wanting what he wants to do, she wants to do the right thing for you, contributing to the common good of your project or your society, of the organization. And thirdly, ethos, which means integrity. You trust that person because you know that that person is always doing what he's saying. He has principles and virtues, moral virtues. So you respect that person and you will do whatever he says, not because he's a boss, but because he or she's got that integrity. Logos, pathos, and ethos. So when you're trying to teach students, you will say, you know, it's really difficult to be teaching this because you learned that in your family, and I cannot change that. But at least you have to learn and understand that this is a universal logic. But then the problem is, what about if my boss is not that a good boss? and I discovered that he's lying, or he's just focusing on economic compensation, and he doesn't care about me. What then? Then is the problem of building trust or rebuilding trust when trust has been destroyed. I've been thinking a lot about that, and that will be my last idea, and bring it here just to discuss later if you want. How do you rebuild trust? And I found that you need 3 elements: about the past, the present, and the future. About the past, because you have to recognize 3 R's to remember. Recognize first that you did wrong, whatever you've done wrong. You have to recognize everything you're doing, anything wrong, that was wrong. Recognition. Past, it was wrong. Then future, which means, you know what, it's not going to happen again. Rectifying. You have to rectify your conduct in the future and tell people, I'm not going to do that again. And then the third one, I'll tell you what, is about present. And it comes to my mind. I was listening to the radio about a politician in Spain. I'm not going to say the name. You know why? Because she was saying, it's true, I was using public money for private purposes. Recognition. I was wrong. I'm sorry about that. Second, I'm not going to do that again in the future. Good. She's saying, okay, rectify. But third, people is asking you to leave your position, or at least to give back money. She's not talking about that at all. So she didn't recover the trust of people. Because the third element is about present, which is repair. You have to repair the relationship. And that means loving again, starting to love again, or repairing with a gift, a kiss, or just saying, I had to leave this position, or I had to give you back. It's a matter of justice. So these 3 elements are essential and have to be taught in the classroom to the students, because neither conflict, neither leadership, neither commitment in organization can be understood without these elements. Thank you.